This video has been funded in part by the Guild via Patreon. Check out the links in the description or at the end of this video for more details.
Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Chris Gildart and welcome back to another Pros vs. Cons review. Years ago, when I compared Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors, this was the Orochi title that I was referencing when I said that it was the winner of that episode. So now, we're gonna jump in and find out if Warriors Orochi 3 really deserves that title.
I've played Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate a lot on PS4. When I said Warriors Orochi was the winner of the comparison between Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors, it's because it brought the best of both worlds to the table. This is the first game in the series to combine the modern era of the Warriors franchise with Dynasty Warriors 7 and Samurai Warriors 3 being the main games that came together for this one. We also got some guest characters from games like Dead or Alive and even Warriors Legends of Troy. With even more games joining the Orochi bunch, this has the opportunity to stand out as one of the biggest and best Warriors games of all time. Now, before we get too far into that, let's start with the first pro. One of the best aspects of this game is its character roster. As I said in the intro, we have newcomers like Ayane and Ryu Hayabusa from Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden, Achilles from Legends of Troy, Joan of Arc from Bladestorm, and Nemea from Zil-Ol. That being said, with Hyper and Ultimate's release, we also got Kasumi, Rachel, and Momiji from Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden, Sturk from the Atelier Arlen series, and even Sophitia from Soul Calibur. That last one may be surprising, but don't forget that Koei and Namco worked together to make the Gundam and One Piece Warriors titles. On top of that, we get loads of new mystics and demons to add to the group. All in all, the game has become more than just your Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors crossover. This has become Koei's Smash Bros. One of my favorite parts of this roster is that there's enough unique characters that if you're getting sick of playing as your usual Dynasty or Samurai Warriors character, you can just bring a whole new team of different characters from a wide variety of backgrounds. Above all of this, characters from Dynasty Warriors 7 who shared EX weapons now have modified movesets, and they even mixed some old moves from Dynasty Warriors 3, 4, and 5 for some of those characters. This makes me want to play as characters that I don't usually play as, like Sun Quan or Zhang Wei. And finally, the Samurai Warriors characters get to use their 5th charge attack that was introduced in Samurai Warriors 2 Extreme Legends. So far, everything's coming up roses. Con! Okay, usually when a game is first released on one generation of consoles, I begin the intro and maybe the first pro and con, only using that game's footage, and then suddenly turn around to the better graphics as a way of showing the big difference in the new generation of consoles. Here's the original on 360, and the new one on PS4. Honestly, not a whole lot of difference. That was super disappointing for me, considering the jump that Dynasty Warriors 8 had from the 360 and PS3 to PS4. I'm surprised at how muddy the visuals are. Nothing really feels colorful. And Samurai Warriors 3 was a pretty colorful game on PS3. Some of the textures in the PS4 and Xbox One version look better, but that's mostly the environment. Not much has changed on the character models. In all of the cutscenes, I can't help but feeling that I'm still playing a PS3 game. This seems more like a port than an ultimate version of Warriors Orochi 3. When I first started this up back when it came out, I was extremely disappointed by the lackluster graphics, and even to this day, I wonder why they didn't try to make it better. It's like they said, make the dirt look like dirt and the grass look like grass. That's all we need to do. Pro. Warriors Orochi hasn't been the strongest in the story department. It's been cool to see all these warriors come together and fight the good fight, but for the most part the stories have been this looming all-powerful being is gonna kill us all, so we gotta band together. I mean, that's essentially this story, but really dumbed down. The basis of this story is that Orochi is dead. Many of the warriors are trying to live their lives in the new mixed-up world. Then suddenly an 8-headed serpent sprouts from the ground and starts causing destruction and chaos, bringing with him Kiyomori and Daji back to start regenerating Orochi once again. During all the commotion, many of the warriors actually die. It's only thanks to the intervention of Kaguya that Ma Chao, Sima Zhao, and Hanbei Takanaka get out safely. It is here that they begin their journey through space and time to gather enough warriors to take on the Hydra and defeat Orochi once and for all. The time travel aspect of this game is really interesting and is used in a decent way. You'll be playing one stage, a character will die that you literally cannot save, and then through playing another stage, you'll unlock the part that you need in order to go back to that stage and save that character. This is really fun to finally go back and get the demons that killed your allies. This is also how you unlock a lot of your characters. But not only do you have to worry about time traveling in order to save and gather your allies, you also need to worry about Kiyomori and Daji brainwashing warriors to fight against you. This is how you end up fighting a lot of your would-be allies like Yukimura or Ranmaru. I like the way this is implemented because those who were once allies will have to fight each other. This brings up conflicts we wouldn't normally see. It brings a lot of creativity to the table that we don't usually see in completely original warrior stories. Alright, I know I'm going to anger quite a few people with this opinion, but this is my review. So this is 100% my opinion on the game, but I really don't like Gauntlet Mode. Okay, listen, I know a lot of people really like it and want it to be in every game, but I just don't like Gauntlet Mode. It feels like the same stage no matter what the map is. You're just running around, activating portals and fighting off random waves of enemies. There's nothing special about the stages with the exception of what foot soldiers and officers you can run into and unlock. That's really about it. Maybe I haven't dived deep enough into it, but if I need to go further than what I have, then it's already too late for you to try to earn my playtime. With the exception of that one DLC stage where you can grind out level ups like they're trying to get rid of them, I have no want to go back to this mode. It's kinda cool to take in a team of 5, but that's really it. Like, it's annoying how chests will randomly help you or hinder you by providing items, decreasing the miasma levels, increasing the miasma levels, making a group of officers appear, or even teleporting you to a random spot on the map. And the miasma levels itself is annoying as well. I'd rather have a hard time limit than have the enemies get so strong I can barely kill normal troops with someone who is level 1000. I don't play Warriors games to die over and over again. I play them for the mindless action. Gauntlet Mode just isn't fun for me. I'm sorry. There are a bunch of little things in Warriors Orochi 3 and its expansions that I love. First of all, there's a lot of crossover content beyond the story and character roster. There's DLC outfits for the Samurai Warriors characters where they get to don outfits from their Dynasty Warriors counterparts. Yukimura wearing Zhao Yun's outfit, Nobunaga wearing Cao Cao's. There are some odd ones like Masamune wearing Shahodun's, probably because they're the only two characters with an eye patch, and Goemon wearing Shushu's because I guess they're chubby. But overall, these are some awesome outfits. Would have loved to see their counterparts wearing Samurai Warriors outfits, but that would leave out some of the Dynasty cast, and I guess Koei didn't want to do that. There are also crossover weapons that you can buy from the shop. Not only does that mean that characters can use weapons from other games, but also characters within their games if they use similar weapons. This means someone like Keiji can use Tadakatsu's weapon. There are even some weapons from Dynasty Warriors 6 in here. It's really cool to take Achilles into a stage bearing Sun Quan's sword from 6. These weapons usually start off pretty weak, but through using that weapon in stages, you can increase its proficiency in order to make it one of the more powerful weapons in the game. We also get all of the old outfits as DLC. This includes everything from Dynasty Warriors 3 to 6 and Samurai Warriors 1 and 2. We even get the Samurai Warriors 1 outfits for Ieyasu and Nagamasa. That's really cool. We also get the aforementioned crossover outfits for Samurai Warriors characters, but we also get all of the original outfits from Dynasty Warriors 7. Both the modern day and the fantasy outfits make a return. On top of that, probably my favorite thing to be included is the Dynasty Warriors Strike Force outfits. Though I'm not the biggest fan of the game, I do like those character designs. Special attacks have also been improved and expanded upon to have aerial special attacks, which can be useful when recovering from a pretty big hit. You can also use aerial charge attacks with the Dynasty characters. This always perplexed me why they took it out in Dynasty Warriors 7. You can also summon your side characters to come out and fight alongside you. I don't do this very often, but when you have the right team, like Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zheng Fei, it looks pretty cool. Another new attack is the True Musou Burst, where your your side characters come out and time slows down. You have a limited time to attack as many enemies as possible and gather them into a burst of energy. Finally, the last attack I'll talk about is the triple rush attack. If you switch your characters right after a charge attack, you will have your side characters one after another come out and continue the attack. This is really cool, and there are some special teams with unique rush attacks like the three Sworn Brothers. One other thing that was brought over from Dynasty Warriors 7 is the camp. This is much better than just navigating menus in my opinion. It makes the smaller things like buying weapons and reading character interactions that much more meaningful. When you have to walk up to a guy in order to have a tea ceremony to increase your bond with a character, you know you're in for a good time. Though I had a lot of good things to say about Warriors Orochi 3, it's still not a perfect game by any means. I've been playing this game since it came out, so I've had some time to look deeply into its flaws. One of those flaws is Musou Battlefield. This is a great idea, and I'm surprised they haven't built on this. It's a mode where you get to fully customize your own battlefields. Take one of the many story stages and change the characters, the troops, the conversations, and even some other parameters like the time limit or morale. I never saw people talking about Musou Battlefield, but there's a huge opportunity for creative minds to band together and have their own Warriors Orochi game. The thing is, this falls incredibly flat, and that's probably why you don't see many people talking about it. My biggest gripe is that when you replace one character with another, the original character's name still appears above their head and in conversations. I wish this would just replace the text. I don't know why they didn't do that. I also wish you could choose various other things, like where units are placed on the map and maybe specific unit aggression. It sucks that this was never done well enough to get off on the right foot. There's a lot of potential here, but Koei just never looked back on it. Also, even though I mentioned some of the new moves of this game, there's one move that's completely absent, and that's the alternate and aerial Musous for Dynasty characters. I don't know why it's not included. It was already in Dynasty Warriors 7, plus we have the Musou bars from before, but Dynasty characters can't utilize the full Musou bar with their Musou attacks. You can do the singular Musou attack, which takes a specified Musou to do, and then use the rest for your special attacks, but that doesn't seem too balanced with the samurai characters, as they retained their Musou from their own game. This is also the first Warriors Orochi game to include Japanese-only voices. This was incredibly disappointing because we had a full English release of not only Dynasty Warriors 7, but Samurai Warriors 3 as well. We heard these characters in English, so why not just go a little bit further and dub this game? By the time this came out, I finally had a PS3, and this was the time that Sony of America decided that if it didn't have an English dub, it wasn't getting a physical release. So I originally played this on my Xbox 360. That was really weird, but now I own like 5 copies of this game, so I guess it's a moot point. Something that's surprisingly annoying is how the speech bubbles during gameplay don't differentiate between the allied units and the enemy ones. This probably wouldn't be so bad if I knew what was going on, but I don't understand Japanese. So while the battle is going on, I don't know what the characters are saying because I don't want to look away from the action, and I don't know who's on my side without pausing and looking at the army list or seeing them on the battlefield. If they just showed up with blue or red text to note who's on the enemy and who's on the ally side, that would be super helpful. Or even do what Samurai Warriors games did from the very beginning and have the enemy unit portraits show up on the left side and the allies show up on the right. I just need an indication of whose ass I should be kicking. In the end, Warriors Orochi 3 is a pretty good game. Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate is the package you're looking for. Not only was most of my gameplay from Ultimate on either PS4 or Xbox One, but I couldn't even bring myself to play much of the vanilla title at all. Ultimate provided more content for us, and all of it is welcome. The DLC also gave us loads of nostalgia, and the gameplay from this entry is top notch. That being said, there are moments where it feels like Warriors Orochi 3 trips on itself a little bit. I'm not a big fan of Gauntlet Mode, and still to this day, I haven't unlocked Hundun on any console. Musou Battlefield and Duel Mode don't do much for me either. The lack of an English dub hurts, especially after having English voiceovers for the previous entry and for the 2 games that come together for this one. Plus the fact that there's not much of a graphical increase from the 7th generation console to the 8th. However, the solid gameplay and story with a roster as hefty and varied as this one helps Warriors Orochi stand out. That's why I give Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate a 9.5 out of 10. Though I'm not a fan of Gauntlet, Musou Battlefield, or Duel Modes, they represent options. I don't have to play them if I don't want to, but I'm going to in order to someday unlock Hunden and get all the achievements and trophies. I love just jumping into a random stage with random characters in this game, trying to level them all up and buy all of the crossover weapons, take them into battles with my various DLC outfits. There's just so much content to enjoy with this game, and that's why I still think that the Orochi series as a whole is the king of the Warriors franchise. What are your thoughts on Warriors Orochi 3? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're there, give the video a like and subscribe for more. There's still one more review to come out, and I think a lot of you have been waiting for this one for a while. You don't want to miss it, so make sure you also ring that notification bell, that way you know when this video goes live. If you'd like to help support the channel even further, you can join the Guild via Patreon like these awesome people that you're seeing on screen right now. You can join them at the end of every single video for just $1 a month. There's other rewards and other tiers as well, so check out the links that you see on screen, and as always, I will see you all down in the comments.